German student Friederike Fischer loves Jerusalem, and not just because the sun shines in November. Fischer is taking a year out from her studies and working for the volunteer organization Action Reconciliation Service for Peace in Israel. The 20-year-old helps look after elderly Israelis at this daycare center. Fischer's Hebrew is not the best, but she manages to make herself understood. Neither she nor her charges are shy with each other.
I feel very welcome in Israel. The people are very curious and want to know about German culture and where I'm from. Given the German-Israeli and German-Jewish history, many want to know what Germany is like today, what's happening there.
Fischer has heard the personal stories of the people she cares for. That hasn't always been easy, but she's come to terms with it.
It's quite common for Israelis to be very direct and abrupt. But once you get used to it, you see it's more about being pragmatic than rude.
However, Fischer also has encountered anti-German sentiment.
There are also examples of people who say they would never travel to Germany or never drive a German car. I have misgivings about that, but as a German in Israel, I just take note rather than say anything. Every person has a right to their own opinion, and I can't condemn that.
Berlin, the central district of Prenzlauer Berg. This is one of the German capital's most vibrant areas, and Michael Rümmel feels right at home here. The 30-year-old from Haifa in Israel has a German-Polish background and likes Berlin, despite its history. Rümmel's friends from Israel also think the same and visit often.
Many Israelis like to visit Berlin. First of all, it's quite cheap to get here, and so is accommodation, especially when they can stay with me for free. It's also an interesting city. You've got everything here, from nightclubs to culture. And of course, for Israelis, there's also the history. To see all that is quite an experience.
Within sight of the Holocaust Memorial is Rümmel's place of work, the German Parliament building, the Reichstag. The political science student works in the office of the Parliament's Speaker. Rümmel helps to coordinate the Bundestag president's constituency work, an ordinary job in the world of politics. He does not deal with German-Israeli relations on a daily basis, but naturally, it's a subject that concerns him.
Relations between Israel and Germany will never be normal like those with Poland or France because of our history. They'll always be special.
Rümmel says the past is important, but he also wants to look to the future. He thinks it's positive that Germany has expressed clear criticism of his country.
Not everything Israel does is right. It's a part of discussion to raise criticism. It's also a part of the relationship between Israel and Germany. As long as Germany recognizes the right of Israel to exist, which is clearly the case, I believe that it's quite all right.
One of Friederike Fischer's favorite places in Jerusalem is the Mahana Yehuda market. She likes the colorful and exciting atmosphere. Jews and Arabs rub shoulders with each other in peace here. During political discussions about the Middle East conflict, Fischer would prefer that, as a German, she could voice a critical word.
When talk turns to current affairs, I often feel at a disadvantage when somebody suddenly mentions the Holocaust, even though we're speaking about a completely different matter. Sometimes I think they're trying to land a killer punch in the argument.
The shadow of the past is ever present for Friederike Fischer in Israel. Her wish is to be an ambassador for today's democratic Germany. But even her generation will never be able to feel completely free of the weight of history.